I used to make this dish all the time, and then I don't know what happened, but it kind of moved out of our rotation. Just recently I was visiting the Netherlands and had dinner at an Indonesian restaurant where this was on the menu. I ordered it and I realized I have to start making that again. So today we're making Opor Ayam. Hi, I'm Toine and welcome to my kitchen. If you're new to this channel, I focus on cooking foods from my home country, the Netherlands, and some of its former colonies such as Indonesia. Opor Ayam is a chicken dish in a rich coconut sauce with fragrant spices and just a hint of chili. I can't wait to show you how to make it. To make Opor Ayam, you will need a 1/4 teaspoon ground cumin, 1½ teaspoons ground coriander, 1 teaspoon brown sugar, 2 salam leaves, 3 kaffir lime leaves, 15 grams of chili deseeded, I'm using serrano, half a teaspoon of tamarind paste, half a centimeter slice of ginger, a 2½ centimeter piece of galangal, 1 bouillon cube, 3 candle nuts, 3 cloves of garlic, 500 grams of chicken, 118 grams of shallots, 400 milliliters of coconut milk, 1 stalk of lemongrass, and a pinch of salt. There may be some items on the list of ingredients that are unfamiliar to you. Let's go over those. The first one was the salam leaves. Those are also called Indonesian bay leaves. If you cannot find them, you can use traditional bay leaves, which is what I'm doing. Kaffir lime leaves grow kind of in a pair like this, so 2 together, which is why the recipe, when the recipe asks for 3 leaves, you really have 6 individual ones. If you cannot find kaffir lime leaf, the best substitute is about 1 square inch of lemon peel, just the yellow, none of the pith, per kaffir lime leaf. So you would need 3 of those pieces for this recipe. Candle nuts or kemiri nuts are another ingredient that may be hard to find. A good substitute are macadamia nuts, which is what I'm using. And then last, galangal. It is in the family of ginger, but it is more lemony. So there isn't, for me, a good substitution. What I have read is that young Thai ginger comes pretty close. I'm lucky to have Asian stores where I can buy this. You can actually freeze it, and sometimes we even buy it already frozen. Those are the ingredients that you may not be familiar with, and hopefully this helped. All right, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to roast the nuts. For candle nuts, that is very important because unroasted, they're actually slightly poisonous. So over a medium heat, we are just going to dry roast these 3 little nuts. This is a big pan for just 3 nuts, but I try to keep my dishes to a minimum, so everything is going to get cooked in this one pan. We're going to just move them around a little bit until they start to slightly darken in color. Okay. As the nuts start to roast, you can definitely smell it, and you can see in the pan that some of the oils are already releasing. So just gonna keep moving this around. You want to do this on medium heat because what you don't want to do is burn the nuts. If you want to, you can cut your nuts into halves. That will give them more surface area to get a little of that toasty flavor. I don't typically do that. You can see that this one here is starting to get a little darker, so just gonna keep moving them around. So as you can see, there's some dark brown spots coming on top of the nuts. That is the sign for me that it's done, and I'm going to put them back in the dish. Now it's time to make the spice paste. Let me move my burner to the side and get my food processor here. I have my little food processor ready, and we're going to put the following ingredients in there. The shallots, I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces. The piece of ginger, the chili pepper, the garlic cloves, the roasted macadamia nuts or candle nuts if you can find them, cumin, and the ground coriander. Almost forgot. And a pinch of salt. I have a little dish with water just in case it's too dry, you can add a little bit of water to it to turn it into a paste. All right, it's gonna make noise. Going to scrape everything down because this is still too coarse. Those shallots, they're strong. I'm going to add a tablespoon of water. Don't add a lot of water at once because it's easy to add, it's impossible to remove or take out. Okay. Starting to look like a paste. Now, in the traditional recipe, you use a mortar and pestle to do this, but this is so much easier. Okay, just a little bit longer, and then we can move on to the next step. So this is good. It's a nice paste consistency. Now that the paste is ready, let me get the rest of the ingredients here, put my cooktop in front of me, and then we'll start putting the dish together. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please click the like and subscribe button. It will really help our channel. And if you want YouTube to notify you whenever we post a new video, click the bell. As I was getting everything ready, I realized there's a few more things I have to do. So first we are going to bash with the back of a knife the lemongrass, which allows you to bend it and, oh, smell that, so good. And now all the oils are easily released. If there's loose strands, don't put them in there because you don't want to get that in your food. The reason we make it a knot is because it's easy to take out. The galangal, it's a really big piece. I like to cut it into thinner slices. The lime leaves we are going to just kind of crumple up again to help release the essential oils. And now it's time to start cooking. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to my pan. I'm using avocado oil, but any neutral flavored oil will do. I can tell that the oil is hot. It starts to sizzle a little bit, some of the little pieces of nut that were left in the pan. So now I'm going to add the paste. Make sure you get it all. And now I'm going to fry it. You want to make sure that that raw onion and garlic smell, or shallot and garlic smell, kind of goes away. That's why we're frying up this paste. All the oil is getting incorporated in here, in case you can't tell. And this spice paste really is the base of the flavors of this dish. And if you've seen me make other Indonesian recipes like rendang, it always starts with a bumbu or a spice paste. I'm going to stir this for about 3 minutes. Now we're going to add the galangal, the salam leaves or bay leaves, kaffir lime leaves, and the lemongrass. Gonna stir that all around. Get it blended in with the spice paste. Now I'm going to increase the heat to get the pan nice and hot for when I add the chicken. Chicken goes in. I am using chicken breast. but you can use chicken thighs as well, and you can even use bone-in chicken. A lot of restaurants serve this bone-in. I personally and my wife prefer white meat chicken, which is why we're using the breast. Just have to be careful to not overcook it because it does dry out faster than dark meat chicken. So we're just going to stir it around until the outside of the chicken is no longer pink. And it has to really, be mixed in with the spice paste so that it has a chance of flavoring all the chicken. So when you're doing chicken breast, it kind of helps to not cut the chicken in too small pieces. It will help have it stay moist that way versus too small pieces cooking for too long. All right. Now we are going to add the coconut milk. The sugar, the bouillon cube, and the tamarind paste. Just going to make sure I scrape up as much as I can. Get it all off the spatula. Now we're going to bring this to a boil and then turn it to a simmer. You want to make sure that the chicken is mostly covered. You want it mostly submerged so that it, one, can get the flavor of the broth or the curry that we're making, as well as the heat from the liquid to help cook the chicken. So, okay, all right, it's starting to boil. Just going to wait for it to come to a rolling boil before turning down the heat. This has come to a rolling boil. I'm going to lower the temperature and let it simmer for at least 30 minutes. Just make sure that you stir it from time to time, especially if the chicken isn't fully submerged. The Opor Ayam has been cooking for about 15 minutes and I've been stirring it from time to time. You can see that the sauce is thickening a little bit. This is not a dish with a really thick sauce or a really dry kind of stew like the rendang is. So this is not going to cook down a lot, but it is cooking down a little bit. And the chicken is definitely getting cooked. Keep stirring it from time to time. Make sure the chicken is submerged, and we'll see you in another 15 minutes. The Opor Ayam has finished simmering, so I'm going to turn off the burner and move it off to the side. Kids, don't do this at home. Now, if you have dark meat chicken that might take a little bit longer to cook, you can always use an instant read thermometer to make sure that your chicken is fully cooked. Let me scoop a little bit in this dish here. I'm going to just grab a small piece of chicken with a little bit of sauce. The sauce has gotten a little thicker. I'm going to start by just trying a little bit of the sauce. Eet Smakelijk. You can definitely tell that this is made with coconut milk. There is that little bit of the citrusy flavor of both the kaffir lime leaves, the lemongrass, and even the galangal. So let's try a piece of chicken. Very good. I'm going to be cooking some rice because we're eating this for dinner tonight. I like to serve it with a little bit of fried shallots on top. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like and subscribe button and don't forget to share it with your friends. If you have any memories or questions about this recipe, please post them in the comments below. I will post the recipe on my website, Toineskitchen.com, in both metric and imperial measurements, and you can find me on social media as well. If you make Opor Ayam, I would love it if you can take a picture and post it on Instagram with the hashtag Toineskitchen. I will share it on my social media and on my website. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.